All right, we are live. Welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's midweek movers. If you guys are new to the live stream, my name is Nick. Every week, either on Tuesday or Wednesday, I do this live stream breaking down the stocks that I'm looking at. This time from both a short and a long perspective, as we had some choppy trading action. And then later on in the stream, once I'm done with the stocks that I'm watching, we'll go over any of the stocks that you guys want to see. So make sure you drop the stocks that you're watching in the comment section, and we'll be breaking down every one of those charts. On Fridays, I do Friday or Saturday, I do a trading recap of the week, breaking down all the stocks that I personally traded, the things that I did well, the things that I did not so well. As you can see, I'm pretty transparent here, 100% transparent. I've been in a trading slump, and I want to talk over a couple things that I'm doing wrong that I think can help maybe other people in a trading slump. So I'll always cover the things that I'm doing well and the things that I can be improving on. On Sundays, I put out a breakout watch list of the stocks that I think have the best probability to break out. If you enjoy the stream, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, and TikTok. Almost forgot, if you're brand new to trading, just posted the first Trading 101 episode where I'll be teaching 3 of my friends who have never traded before how to trade. Next episode will be coming out on Thursday. So make sure you check that out because we walk through all the basics of trading and how to build a trading rule book. All right, so for today, we're still having a pretty choppy trading action. A lot of the setups that I would say are quality setups, at least quality setups for my trading strategy, are hitting their buy points, the pivot points that we look for, and then they're slumping back. And it looks like they're just bringing buyers in, and then selling off. And that could be exactly what's happening. Institutions could have kind of pumped the brakes on the selling, allowed buyers to step in, get everything kind of bid back up, just to sell it for a higher price. So right now, I'm trading relatively defensively. I should be trading more defensively, and that's something that I'll get into in a little bit here. But we're not out of the woods, at least on the growth stocks side. So in indexes, S&P 500, NASDAQ is not as strong. Dow Jones continues higher. So from an index perspective, things look fine. But underneath the hood, all the growth stocks that I trade, and I know a lot of you guys trade, aren't doing so hot. So when that happens, we got to kind of scale risk down. Let me just jump into the trading slump. Right now, I've been on a 4-week losing streak. Thankfully, I was able to roll out basically immediately at the top. So I'm still only maybe 5.5%, 6% now down from my account balance highs from back in February, but just getting chopped up for all these small losses. And that is starting to take a toll on my trading confidence. And that's something that I don't think a lot of YouTube traders talk about is your confidence, the trading psychology. And that's something that I really want to highlight. Right now, it's just a very difficult time to be a breakout trader because we're seeing that choppy action. So right once you get in, sellers are stepping in, and you're taking full stops on hopefully partial positions or test positions. But I mean, getting chopped up for 4 weeks now, that's frustrating. It's a waste of time. You're not confident that the next trade that you're going to take is going to be a winning trade. So how do we get that confidence back? It's not by adding position size, continuing to double down on a losing trade, anything like that. That's a couple of the mistakes that I made earlier on this week. I put on one trade, it pulled back 3%. I added to it, and then I got stopped out at 5%, but at a larger position size than I should have had on it. And instead of letting my profit pay for my risk, like I put here, and kind of rolling up stops to entry before taking any new positions, I've been taking a bunch of test positions, and they, for the most part, have all been failing. I have a couple of stocks that are working out, but I keep on edging lower on my my portfolio balance. So when that happens, I need to take a step back. I need to understand that I'm over trading, I'm overthinking. There's a lot going on in my life right now. So I need to kind of take a step back and just try to get very, very small position size on one or two names. And then once those start to break out, then I can move stops to entry, take away that initial capital risk, and then continue on to take new trades. I don't want to be trying to, what's it called, like a revenge trade, try to get all the money that I've lost the past 4 weeks back in one trading day. That's not going to happen. And even if it does, that is not the way you do it over a long period of time. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a good trader for a long period of time, not just for 1 week, 1 month, one trade. So trying to develop that consistency in strategy, that consistency in emotion, and that consistency in profit. But there are times where your strategy doesn't work, and that's not a time to jump ship and go to the buying the dip, adding on to losers, doing other strategies. You should take a step back, maybe not trade as much, and then read and study your strategy. So once it does come back to the market and growth stocks are working, you're gonna have all that knowledge still with all your capital and your confidence to come in and make some good trades. All right. So I guess I should have said a disclaimer before that, but anything that we talk about today is not financial or stock advice. Trading comes with financial risk. Please do your own due diligence. This is for educational purposes only. These are the stocks that I'm currently holding. Right now I am at 12% net long invested. Don't have any short positions on just yet. But PRTA is really the only one that I'm doing well on right now. I think these other four are minor losses. AVYA might be flat or slightly ahead, but I got stopped out of a bunch of trades that I put on yesterday and today. Again, this is me over trading, and I'm getting chopped up as the market stays a little shaky. All right, so stock lineup. So because we're seeing this type of action, I wanted to give you guys a couple stocks that I'm watching from the long side, and then a couple stocks that I think are some quality short setups. So if the market does turn around, you might put on some shorts just to hedge any long positions that you have, or trying to make money on some short setups. I will say when you do short a stock, you have to be much quicker at taking profit because the math just doesn't work out in your favor. If you go from 40 to 30, that's a 25% drop, but then from 30 to 50, that's not gonna, what am I trying to say? It's not gonna play in your favor once you see those bounces. And if you're trading high growth stocks with the environment that we have been up until now, you're likely to either get stopped out, or if you don't have a stop, for one of those stocks to really move on you. So if I'm shorting a stock, I'm doing it with slightly less of a position size. I'm trying to take profits a little bit quicker, move stops to entry, and because I would rather trade on the long side. Almost all my money is made on the long side. So short setups are more for a hedge and just to see what's working and what's not. So these are the stocks that I'll be talking about. I also have CIDM and TGT target from StockTwits to cover. If you guys have any stocks, leave them in the comment section and I'll get to those. All right, let's jump to Webull, new platform. So if you were on the live stream last week, I got fed up with E-Trade, kept on crashing on me. So we're switching over to Webull. I've been using this more and more. I trade between Thinkorswim with TD Ameritrade, but I don't love the charts on TD. It's fine for trading. I haven't had a problem on entries or anything like that, but I do really like Webull's charts. It has everything that E-Trade has that nice clean black background that I look for, and had all the metrics that I look for in a chart too. So let's give this a try. You guys can let me know in the comments if you like it or not, but for this one, we're going to go with Webull. This is what we'll be using for the Trading 101 series as well. and I signed all my friends up. They got 2 free stocks when they signed up with my link. So if you don't have a trading platform and want to try out Webull, you guys can use the link in the description to get 2 free stocks for that. All right, first stock to look at, ANGO. One thing that I always look for any new listeners, you want a stock above the 50-day moving average, typically less resistance that way. And you also want to be above the 200-day moving average, this yellow line, and that 200-day to be in an uptrend itself. So you can see since kind of December, the 200 days have been in an uptrend, the 50 days in an uptrend, and we have 200, 50, 20, and 8, all in the right order. So this has been in a strong uptrend. The last 2 days, let me zoom in a little bit, some sideways trading action. Monday, it actually made a high for the year. And then today we pulled back, bounced right at that 8-day exponential moving average, the low of the day there, and still in place for kind of this cup and handle here. Ideally, this would trade down to the right a couple more days, just tightening up. You can see this is the ATR, average true range. This measures the daily bars over the last 14 days. So how orderly this has been going up. We're starting to see that come down, and when volatility comes down, then you could get a tighter stop loss and have less likelihood of being stopped out with random fluctuations in the day. So with this one, I'll be looking just for a break into all-time high, so 2301 on this. Ideally, like I said, we pull back, maybe test that 20-day. Maybe this is one for next week, but one that's holding up great relative strength, volume's doing all the right things. All the large volume days have been on green days, and has been consistently strong so far. This is ANGO. Next we have CMRX. Similar to ANGO, you got the 200-day, the 50, the 8 and the 20 are flipped. So short term, we had a couple of red days here. We had this green candle that punctured the 50-day moving average and then rallied back up. So buyers stepped in around that 50-day. That's good to see. And it's also good to see that the low of the day there, let's see here. If I draw a line across here, let's move this down. So anyone that got in on this pullback here typically will put their stop at that area. And when we pulled back on March 5th, we undercut that low. We might have even undercut. Let me pull this back even more. Yeah, we even undercut the low through here. So that's really nice to see because that shakes out all the tight stops, kind of reloads the deck. And since then, we bounced cleanly and we've been trading sideways. Well, I mean, the overall market's been drifting higher, but a lot of the growth stocks have not been. So the fact that this is trading sideways, ATR coming way in, holding up good relative strength after a flush, this is checking a lot of the boxes that I look for in a stock. So if we could break over yesterday's high point, let's see, what would that be? 1047, that would be a possible buy point for me. This is CMRX. CRTO, this is one that I currently have right now. Just bought it today, and since then it's pulled back a little bit, but nice move through here from about $18 to $37.13, so about 100% move up. We pulled back to the 20-day, had a nice undercut that, let's see here, low 29.40, low 29.30. So we undercut that low again by 10 cents. Really nice to see there. Shakes out all the stops in the pullback, kind of drifts higher, and now you're starting to see ATR tighten up really well. Today we got good volume as we had a higher high, higher low over the previous day's candle. I bought when we broke over the previous day's high, and then it's just kind of flat on the day. So what I would be looking for is if we open lower and we could take out the low and then rally back higher, that would be a possible buy point. Or if we just, there's a couple ways to play this. Just breaking over the high today, 34.19, that would be buyable. Or if you want to wait to the high from March 11th, that would be 35.03. That would also be buyable. Let's see, Can we also do a diagonal on this? Yeah, so if you do that diagonal resistance, you kind of have the converging buy points. If you just wait for a break over the previous day and a break over the diagonal, it'd be the same price. So you have two different systems buying at that same point. Doesn't look like there's too much resistance up top, so let's keep an eye on that. CRTO. Next we have Gato. This one concerning thing about the chart off the bat is this large red candle where it broke out, got way up there, $24, and then immediately flushed that day, February 1st. So definitely going to be some sellers hiding up here, but we have a pretty good amount of time and percentage until we get there. After that kind of failed, I don't know, breakout, you would say. We had higher highs, higher lows, and then with the market, we pulled back, but we did so on lower volume. And you can see ATR continues to tighten up as this just trades sideways. Today, it looked like we were going to get over a previous high here. Let's see, 1532. And we matched it, 1532. So that would be my possible buy point, 1532, just the high from both of those 2 days. It's not perfectly drawn. Still got to get better at drawing on Webull, but right through there, if we open lower and then take that out, that would be a possible buy point for me. ATR is really tightening up, so it's really easy to get a tight stop on this trade, which after getting chopped up, I'd rather get chopped up on tight stops because you could take 3% losses and it's like 6% loss. So in an environment where your probability of finding a winning trade is lower, you're going to want to make sure that your stops are equally, like you take the same types of risk. So you have to keep your stop tighter or your position size lower or a combination of that. Next we have IAC. This is one that I put on the breakout watch list. Still not doing anything too wrong. Let me zoom out. You got the 200-day, the 50. The 20 is over the 8 right now, but we bounced at the 50. Now we're kind of like bouncing right in between the 20 and the 8, trying to decide which way are we going to be going. That's how the market has been lately, but I would give this a little bit of room since volume has been slightly higher on the selling days. So that's definitely a strike against the chart. And because of that, I'll wait until we get over the high from March 10th. And that would be 249.68. You could draw a diagonal here as well. So kind of let the diagonal resistance buyers step in, prove that they're strong, that there's a lot of them, and then get in on a break over March 10th's high. It's IAC. All right. NVIS is next. This is one that the ATR is still really extended, starting to finally just come down, but a little bit more cautious with this than the other names that I'm watching. Had this really strong pullback from $24 all the way down to $10. So that's more aggressive of a pullback than I would typically like to trade. But did quickly see this bounce back up right over the 20-day, over the 8-day, and bounced at the 50-day. So buyers did step in on this name. But typically the first breakout will be sold off. So we might need a couple days for this to trend lower and then a move higher to go. Whoops, NVIS. But really low volume in today's pullback. Looked like it found support right on the 20-day simple moving average where the low of the day was. So if this does turn around and the market turns around, then I'd be looking for a break over the high of 1865 as a possible buy point. MVIS. So NCTY, similar looking chart, but you do have, oh, that's nice, horizontal just right there. Yeah, you have 2 daily highs, 3 daily highs, right at the same price, $65 flat. It's probably not maybe it is actually exactly that. Yeah, $65 flat. That is the high of the day from March 10th. That would be where I would be buying a break over that, because we do have a nice gap in the chart. And then pretty clear skies all the way up to all-time highs at 89. So ATR just starting to come in now. Lower volume in the last two pullback days. Maybe this takes the rest of the week to kind of trade sideways before getting going again, but definitely one that I'll be watching for. NCTY. Next we got OMI. This one for zooming out, got that 200-day and a nice uptrend, 50, 28, all in the right order. Had this nice long kind of base period, broke out, pulled back, and now kind of doing the same, showing great relative strength compared to the rest of the growth market. And now just this nice orderly pullback to the 8-day exponential moving average. I would love to see a quick undercut of the low from March 15th. Just undercut all the lows in the pullback here, shake out any traders that got in too late. And then if that happens, then you could take a break over today's high. 36.70 would be a valid buy point, or just a break into all-time highs at 37.87. OMI. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please leave a like. It helps me out tremendously. This channel continues to grow, and it's really exciting. Hopefully you guys like my stuff, but I appreciate you guys' support. RCKT, this is one that I kind of left for dead for a while, and now it's starting to get my attention again, probably because everyone else left it for dead, but really strong breakout here. I was tracking it, and I gave up on it, and then it quickly moved out, sold off, and now we're still doing this kind of base building period here. But ATR is now starting to come in. You got a couple daily highs. Let's see if I can draw this correctly again. That's awesome. Right through there. Well, that's the high that I would be looking at. March 1st high, 58.71, sorry. 58.71 right through there. Great relative strength for a growth stock. Got the 8-day exponential moving average kind of turning up to catch the 20-day, but just got over the 50-day. So there could be some sellers lurking up here and here. So again, with any of these stocks, we got to be acting a little bit quicker than usual. RCKT. Next we have TAOP. This was on my breakout watch list this week, and when a chart looks this perfect of a flag, it's almost a red flag against it, because I'm not the only breakout trader watching this. I'm sure other groups are watching this, because this is so neat and orderly. The high from yesterday was $11 on the dot, but this has so much power. I have not gotten to ZIM yet. We'll get there in a second. This one has so much power. It moved like 380% up here, sold off, but then kind of bouncing around the 8-day. This is 8-day simple moving average. I haven't figured out how to put exponential moving averages on here yet, but tracking the 8-day exponential, it's very close to the lows during this pullback. And then we just have very orderly sideways action today. Only down 0.5%, while a lot of growth stocks got kind of flushed, and ATR is coming in. So I'll probably try this with a break over 11, but this just looks like too clean, you know. I don't know how many people are watching this. I checked it on StockTwits. It doesn't seem like too many people are watching it, but I guess we'll see. Lots of power behind the name. Break over 11 would be my buy point, and then 5% stop, or less if we can swing that. You got two more long positions for you, and then we'll break for a couple of the comments that you have, and then we'll wrap it up with the short positions. All right, TBK, very strong uptrend. This is, I believe, a bank. That banks are doing well right now, so got to kind of find the hot hand. 200-day, 50, 28, all in the right order. Good relative strength. some decent volume on this like fake breakout sell-off there. So, I mean, it didn't really go anywhere, but I'm not sure if people are just kind of unloading shares after a big move. So one strike against the chart, maybe find some sellers if it does move up there. So again, another reason to be a little bit quick with your selling in a strike, moving some stops to entry during a volatile time. You can see ATR is still elevated. I just put this on there because it was showing good relative strength and starting to tighten up while it pulled down to the 20-day moving average. With this one, I would be waiting for a break over March 10th high of 84.21. But there is a diagonal that you could draw that maybe you get in at a lower price through there, but I'm going to be cautious. I'm getting chopped up. I need to find a really quality setup to get some confidence back. So with this, I'll give it some time. Maybe it'll set up, but one to watch. And VRNT, last long position. Nope, VRNT. Huh. All right, I don't know if I wrote this down wrong or if this showed up differently. All right, we'll call that there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that one. All right, so from the chat, we got AAPL, Apple. So weird looking chart. Let me zoom out to really get the picture. This has been kind of like cup, and it looked like it was handling out, and then growth sold off, Apple sold off. We cleanly cut through the 50-day without ever putting up a fight, which is a big red flag. Haven't tested the 200-day, kind of bounced before that, and now we're just in no man's land. So like I said, like the market is really trying to decide where it's going to go from here. I know the indexes have just been drifting higher, but I don't think the sell-off has been at least completely squashed yet. There's definitely some fear in the market. It's up well today, 1.2%, but that close wasn't great. We are over the 20-day moving average, but until we clear that 50-day, I mean, that could be where another group of sellers is lying. So I don't buy stocks under the 50-day moving average. Just a personal rule. Typically when you do that, there's going to be a lot more sellers lurking up top. So take that how you will. Let's see, Costco. Yeah, same kind of idea here. Under the 50-day, under the 200-day. So as a breakout trader, this is just not something that I would be trading. Long-term investment, maybe. You have to know the fundamentals, the story, all that. Not something that I know, not something that I'm going to kind of talk on. But this clean and orderly sell-off is definitely concerning. Bounced and hit support or hit resistance at the 20-day. So this is going to need a long time to really kind of set up for a buyable position that I would be trading. Lots of sellers lurking if you're under the 200-day or the 50-day moving average. AREC, let's check that out. So high of 802. Man, that flushed quick. So yeah, typically when stocks pull back over 50% from their highs, there's just going to be, like I said before, a lot of sellers lurking. So that first bounce is typically going to hit resistance. So if you are trying to kind of play a bounce off the 50-day, you got to be a lot quicker taking profit because there's going to be other groups taking profit there or getting out for even or a smaller loss. I don't know, ATR is coming in, but those two candles are kind of gross. Yeah, something that I would avoid during a choppy market, but I mean, depending on where you got in, depending on your trading plan, are you being profitable this past 2 weeks? If you're at your account highs, you could be a little bit more aggressive. I've been in a trading slump, so I need to find some like perfect setups, some clear winners, and then start rolling up the risk before I can kind of take more of the trades like that. DGLY. All right, I'm not going to comment on this one. I don't trade stocks under $5, so just not a chart that I am familiar with, and it's a little bit different with institutions buying at that low of a price. So ZIM, ZIM. Yeah, this is one that Leif traded, and I missed out because I was traveling. But man, that was. Let's just put the. I love that Webull does that too. It like locks in on the high of the day, so it knows like where you're trying to place the resistance and support lines. That's awesome. But yeah, with this one, from 11 to 22, oh, man, I'm kicking myself for not trading this one. But yeah, nice move up, pulled back, had that initial bounce, and then that set that pivot buy point, a little bit wider of a pivot than you would expect. But after this reversal, once it came roaring back the next day and broke over the high, that was the nice clean buy point, 21.46. Man, and it did so with volume, had continuation the next day, and even a little bit more into Monday. That would have been a great stock to trade. Definitely would have given me some profit to take on the risk that I took on without having that profit. I'm kicking myself. I'm over trading. But yeah, this was a super, super clean setup and one that was working when a lot of names weren't. So good call if you got into this one, man. AQMS. Yeah, so same thing. It's close enough to 5, but it's under the 50-day moving average. It's under $5. Not something that I would be trading, and I don't know. Definitely has some work to do. Went from 8 to 3. I don't know. Lots of possible sellers in there. Microsoft. 200-day, 50, 20, and the 8 all around the same price. Did this fill the gap today? Let's see. High 240.06, low 240.18. So just about filled that gap. Let's see. Let's bring this out. Get more of a chart. Yeah, this is one that it doesn't move very fast. So not a stock that I would trade. It looks like there's some sellers at this level, like selling that gap. I mean, as long as it's staying over the 8 and the 20-day, I mean, it's holding up better than most, but not a super, I don't know, not a super performer, I don't think, in the short term. Let's go PLL. No, not Palantir, PLL. Yeah, so that was a quick chop down, bounced at the 50-day, came up, then nice pivot point through there. Just buying with a break over 74.98 could have worked basically at the open on Monday. You got a couple daily highs right at the same. I think I put this on the breakout watch list, no? Still holding up fine. I mean, down 3% today, but a little bit more selling, like volume than you would like to see. But, I mean, not doing anything too wrong right now. Keep the stop the same there. All right, let's jump into some possible short positions and what I'm looking for in shorts, because I know I haven't talked about this. I don't think I've talked about this before on the live stream. So first we have BEAM, and this is one of the ones. Beam and JMIA are the two that I have like the least conviction on, because it bounced back and it's now over the 20-day, but it's still under that 50-day moving average. So my guess, like on a short position, if I'm trading this, I'm not going to be shorting a stock that's already dropped too much, just like I'm not going to be buying a stock that's already extended too much. I'm going to be waiting for a pullback on a long position or a bounce back on a possible short. So this bounced, did so on much lower volume than the selling here. So lots of people exiting. Even as we got through here, there was signs that's a lot of volume leaving, lots of volume leaving, lots of volume leaving. There were some signs that people were selling this down. So the fact that we got a low volume pop back up to the 50-day moving average sets this trade really, really well for a good possible short. So what I would be looking for is a break under today's low of the day, 90.37 as a possible sell point, because we would be under the 50. That would put us under the 20-day moving average. And then all we would have is this 8-day exponential, or 8-day, I guess this is the simple moving average. And that, I don't know, hasn't done too much as support or resistance before. So that is my plan with that one. If we break under the low, possibly shorting that. But the fact that the 20 and the 8 are so close together shows that this got bounced back up pretty quickly before the 50-day even had time to start pulling down. But that's BEAM, JMIA next. Nope, typed that wrong. What are you guys thinking about the Webull platform? Do you like the look of this? It's definitely more reliable than E-Trade, that's for sure. Yeah, sorry if you trade with E-Trade. I just haven't had any success with that the last like 3 months, so I switched over. JMIA. This is one where I could go both long or short on this. So just kind of wanted to bring this up to talk over like what I'm seeing. We had a nice breakout through here, good volume. I did take this trade on this kind of cup handle, boom, sold in strength there. Just orderly selling. Had this one bounce back, but never could close over that 8-day until we got this green candle, which still was less volume than the selling. So strike against the chart there. Had a good follow through. So this kind of changes the game, right? That kind of volume on continuation right at the 50-day moving average, that's good. Then you get a break over the 50-day yesterday on a decent volume. And then today sells off 6.5%, bounces right at the 20-day. So this could be one where maybe we just kind of drift sideways for a little bit, have the ATR tighten up, and then we see a big volume day on an up day, and that would be a perfect buy point over the high 52.30 of today. Or if this rolls over and the rest of the growth market rolls over, then breaking under the low, I would wait to, man. Yeah, see, this one's tough. I probably wouldn't short this. It's just kind of on my watch list because it could go either way. But if we break under the low, that would be a possible entry point, or the low from Friday. Then we know this is kind of rolling over a little bit. All right, now to the ones I'm a little bit more confident with. So NIO, you can see we're still far off the 200-day or the 50-day moving average. This sold off on heavy volume. Bounced on much lower volume. The heaviest volume came on, this is a slightly red day, but just got sold off all throughout the day. Closed slightly lower. That's why the candle's red there. And then this is just kind of flagging out here. This looks like a really nice bear flag. So I'm looking for a break under the lows in this flag. So I think that's the low from March 12th. Let's see, 42.76 as a possible sell point. You're going to be quick to test the 8-day moving average there at 42.02. But that's a clean one. We're nowhere near the 50-day moving average. We're bumping up against the 20, which is providing some resistance already. But the two the two selling days, I guess, today and yesterday, came on much lighter volume. So we are going to have to see a break under here with ideally some high relative volume to get the short going. But man, this did not bounce nearly as much as some of the stocks that we were looking at, that I was trading like all throughout here. That's NIO. Tesla, similar action, still under the 50-day by a decent amount. This is one where if Tesla goes, the market will go, the growth market will go, and it could go either way. Like if this like firms up and buying steps in just like it did on the 9th, then we're back to the 50-day. We could test that. If this is right at the 50-day after a sell-off like this, good things are going to be happening, but there's just something suspicious about this, like right at that 20-day moving average, trading sideways here. I don't think traders, I don't think institutions have decided where this is going to go just yet. So if this flushes and we take out the low of the 12th, which would be 666.14, that is a possible sell point, or I guess the low from the 10th, which would be 655.06, right around the same price, but you probably get under the 8-day moving average by doing that too. So slight increase in volume today, nothing crazy, but if this breaks down, we got a problem. If this breaks out, things are looking good. As Tesla goes, the market goes right now. Redfin is another one that sold off on heavy volume, bounced on weaker volume, and is traded sideways. They're not sure which way this is going to go. We got the 50 and the 20 right at the same price, just above this. So possible resistance with both of those lines. Yeah, a lot of these selling volume days, very heavy. Action tightening up, so ATR tightening up as this range tightens, so you can keep a tighter stop loss on it if you do short with a break under the low of the 12th, which would be 71.76. That's a possible sell point there, but got to be much quicker when you're shorting, because I don't think these stocks are going to go to zero or anything like that, but there's definitely some sellers lurking right now. TTD, this was one that was basing out, and was one of the first like failed bases that we were seeing in the market. Sold off on heavy volume, but bounced back on really strong volume. So this is one where it's still in a kind of downtrend here. Today's failed breakout, hit that 50-day, sold off, closed right at the 20-day. Doesn't mean it can't continue higher, just that there's some sellers lurking right here at the 50-day. If this does turn around, break under either today's low or yesterday's low, then we're in for it, because that volume was likely on the selling side, bringing this down a little bit more. All right, those were the possible short positions. I got two from StockTwits to cover. CIDM. Shoot, this one's under 5. Yeah, I mean, I know I said I would cover this. I'm sorry. I don't trade stocks under $5. It's under the 50-day moving average, another strike against it. There's going to be likely a lot of sellers up in this range. I don't know. Doesn't fit my strategy. Don't want to give you guys anything that I'm not comfortable with. Target, TGT, quick sell-off, bounce back, but it's under the 50-day, under the 20-day moving average. ATR is tightening up. This could be a possible short too if that just rolls over. Let's see, the low of the day, March 11th, 177.40. Let's see if this does the low of the days well too. I see 177.40. Yeah, that is sweet. Okay, I don't know about you guys. I like that chart feature. But yeah, ATR tightening up, kind of flagging out here under the 50, under the 20. Bounced at the 8-day. If we break under the low today and that 177.40, the low from the 11th. That could be in some trouble. So still got a lot of room to the 200-day moving average there. Yeah, I don't think we're out of the woods in this market right now. All right, let's see. What else did you guys want to see? Wanted to see PLNHF. Planet Hollywood. All right, we got the 258 and the 20. Interesting. Lots of sellers. This is the first time I'm seeing this chart, so I'm just kind of reading out loud here. Let's zoom out. How far is this off? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think for me, these daily highs at the same, 698. Yeah, 2 daily highs, 698. If we can get the rest of this week to trade sideways, tighten up just a little bit more, this big selling volume is concerning for sure. You'd see that right there. That's more than the bounce back there. Got a couple of these selling bars that is concerning. I don't know. I probably won't take this one personally just because there's a couple strikes against it, and coming out of a slump, I need the perfect fastball down the plate to kind of hit. But break over $7 here could be viable, especially if we get a couple days where we kind of pull back, test the 8, test the 50-day, see if there's buyers stepping in to kind of push this higher before some possible sellers up top here. Yeah, I'll keep this on my general watch list to see how it goes, but I don't think it's a terrible chart. I just think there's a couple signs against it that might be working against what you want. All right, last call. Any charts? What do you guys want to see? If you enjoyed the live stream, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Trading 101 episode 2 will be out on Thursday. We went over... what do we go over? Order types, and should have had that prepared. Order types and something else. But we'll have a trading recap up either Friday or Saturday. I'm going to be traveling again this weekend, so try to crank that out. Breakout watch list on Sunday. And you guys can follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, and TikTok. Oh, yeah, make sure, if you haven't yet, dropped your Twitter or your TikTok handle in the comments of that initial TikTok trading challenge video. I'll be giving out $100 at the end of March to a random comment from there. So make sure you get your handle in there, because I want to give this away to someone that's been following along for a while now. And from everyone in the chat, I know that you guys have been following for a long time. So I want you guys to have a chance at that.